Welcome to YMCA of San Francisco's Classes for All. My name is Gaelle, or for today you can call me Chef Gaelle, because today we will be learning about how to make Haitian beignets. The ingredients you will need are 1 cup of flour, half teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon ground cinnamon, 2 ripe bananas or mangoes, or any fruit of your choice, 1 egg, 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/4 cup plus 1/2 or half teaspoon of evaporated milk or whole milk or any milk of your choice. Today I will be using almond milk, and 2 tablespoons of butter, melted or softened. Optional, you can have half teaspoon of vanilla extract. So feel free to follow along, or you can just watch and try the activity on your own later. So let's get started. So I want to let you guys know about Haitian beignets and why it's so different from the beignets that we have here in America. Haitian beignets, the core ingredient of it is the fruits that we have: mangoes, bananas, whatever fruit you like, peaches, apples, whatever you want. That is our core ingredient. It's the fruit. So Haitian beignets are typically part of a celebration. It's actually typically made as street food in what we call carnaval. Carnaval in Haiti, and actually a lot of other countries, Latin American countries like Brazil or Jamaica, the Caribbean in general, honestly, they celebrate Carnival. And so it's the celebration with the beautiful not street clothing, but like different decorative clothing. People are celebrating life. And it's just a huge party out in the street. There's floats, there's musicians, there's dancers, and it's this beautiful celebration of life. And of course, where there is celebration, there of course needs to be food. And they make Haitian beignets. And how they say it in Haitian Creole is beignet, and of course beignet. Is how you would say in English. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to teach you guys how to cut the mangoes. I cut it in a specific way. So, but before I do so, as you can see, you're going to need 2 bowls, a bowl for your liquid ingredients and a bowl for your dried ingredients. You're going to need a pan. You're going to need this wonderful tool to stir all your items together, spatula. And you're going to need a stovetop. Today I have my hot plate, since we're out of my kitchen. And then, of course, a knife. If you are a child and you're doing this, please do it with an adult. Make sure you have an adult's permission to utilize the tools in your kitchen. And also, it's always fun cooking with family. So I definitely encourage you guys to do that. A huge part of Haitian culture is family. We love family, and we love food, and we love cooking together. So yes, let's get started. Cool. So I have my typically potatoes. You peel potatoes with these items, but we will be peeling mangoes and peeling off the skin of a mango. Let's get started. So what I'm doing is I have my hand. My hand is on the side, so it's not in the way of this sharp tool. We don't want to hurt ourselves. I definitely encourage you to have a discard bowl because it eliminates the mess in the cleaning after. So let's do that. The riper the fruit is, the sweeter it'll be. So you'll have those naturally sweet flavors in your beignet. And here's your mango. So once you have your mango like this, you're gonna cut rows vertically. on 1/2. The smaller they are, the better they are. Again, if you are a child, I definitely would have your parent do this for you, so that you're safe. Or if you and your parent cook together frequently and you're just a pro at using the knife, then that is your parent's judgment. But definitely encourage you to be careful as you utilize a knife. Safety first. Safety is so important. Again, we're doing the same thing on this side. We're cutting vertical lines, and then afterwards we're going to be cutting horizontal lines on your mango. Again, we're going to cut that onto bowl. All right, so now we have our banana. Of course, it's going to be much easier to cut your banana. So again, you're going to just peel your banana, peel the skin off, because we're not going to eat that part. It's not as yummy as what's inside. So again, you're gonna make sure your banana is as thin and small as possible, because we're gonna mix it all together. So I know that I said earlier that you can use either or, but also I think, what's cool about cooking is that you can mix ingredients together, and have fun with that. Mix 2 fruits that you enjoy into this recipe. I love mangoes, and bananas are pretty great. All right, now with a fork, and then this is your liquid bowl, you're gonna squish it down like so. You're gonna squish it down until it becomes liquidy. Of course, the bananas, it'll be easier for you to squish down because it's more soft than the mangoes, depending on how ripe your mangoes are. But it doesn't have to be too liquidy like water or juice. It can be a little bit chunky because, again, we're gonna cook it. We're gonna cook it on a pan, so like that it will kind of melt. But as liquidy as you can make it, the better it is. It's gonna be a little chunky, like a thick smoothie, I would say. This is a great thing for the kiddos to do. To smush down all these fruits. It's fun and easy and safe. So everybody has a role in the family to do. Parents can handle the sharp objects and cutting, and the kiddos can smush these fruits together in a bowl, and it's just one big happy cooking party. All right. As you can see, it's chunky, so this is the consistency of this is actually pretty good. If you want, you can smush it a little bit more, but this is fine if your bowl, inside of your bowl looks like this with your fruit. Mix it all up in the kitchen. Our next liquid ingredient are the eggs, or egg. We're using 1 egg. Boom! Mix the egg into there. I think one of my favorite things about Haitian cuisine, Haitian cooking, is the fact that it's just such a family-oriented thing. At least I can speak for my Haitian family, maybe other Haitian families. I don't know, but I can speak for myself. When there would be a celebration at home with my family, cousins and aunts, uncles, grandparents come over. I'm in the kitchen tasting, because we all need a taster. I would, we have this thing called macaroni au gratin, and my job would always to grate the cheese, and I loved it because I got to taste some of the yummy food that my aunts or mom would be making. This is part of the whole cultural experience, guys. Cooking with your family. Can't get much any better than that. All right, so now we have our egg in here. We have our fruits in here. Let's see, we need our milk. So I I, again, am using almond milk, 1/4 cup of your almond milk or your milk of your choice. And we're gonna pour that into there. Again, you can use your fork to just stir it up. There's just multiple uses for this fork. Yum, yum. All right, and after that, your melted or softened butter, and that is 2 tablespoons. So on your butter, mine, you know, on any butter, they have the amount of tablespoons on there. So all you have to do is count. All right, we're gonna pour that into there. Great. This is so exciting. Stir it all up. All right, now we have all of our liquid ingredients in there. Again, the vanilla extract is optional. You can choose to use it or not. All right, so I'm gonna put that to the side, and then now we're gonna move on to the dried ingredients. Awesome. So now you're gonna need 1 cup of flour. So here's my 1 cup of flour. Where's my butter knife? Just to make sure we're staying true to the ingredient. And pour that into there. 1 cup of flour. And then after our 1 cup of flour, you're going to need half a teaspoon of baking soda. So I have my baking soda here. So my half a teaspoon. We're gonna pour that into there. Boom. All right. And then we're gonna need half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So here's my ground cinnamon. A really cool thing about this recipe is very straightforward and simple to make. And once you get the hang of it, you can do your own mix of it too. All right, we have our cinnamon in there, we have our baking soda, our flour. Now we're gonna do 1/4 cup and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Again, this recipe is flexible. So if you don't want to use sugar or just your just basic sugar, you can use brown sugar, or you can choose not to put sugar in it at all. The sugar does make it good too. We're also going to need half a teaspoon or 1 tablespoon, I'm sorry, 1 tablespoon of our sugar. There you go. Cool. Awesome. And so with our dried ingredients, we're gonna stir it together and blend it as much as we can. Mix it all up. All right. Now, guys, this is the moment we have been waiting for. The mixture of liquid and dried ingredients. So I'm gonna take my liquid bowl and I'm gonna pour it in there. And then we're gonna mix it all together. And then I'll show you the consistency it's supposed to have. Mix, mix, mix. So sometimes when we stir, friends, the flour likes to stick to the edges, so it's really good to have something like this to really bring the flour in and mix it into the rest of the liquid ingredient. So after you're done mixing it, it should look like so. You can see some of the chunks of the mango, but that's okay because we're cooking it. Alrighty then. Here we go, friends. You can put the temperature of your of the stovetop on medium. It doesn't need to be too hot, right? Because we want it to be hot enough to put the beignets in, but it doesn't need to be superly duperly hot. And beignets, they're typically pretty small, so they should be this small. Mine might be a little big starting off, but that's okay. But they're typically small, and they take up to 1 minute, 1 minute and 30 seconds at most to fry on this pan. All right, friends, something to get ready when we're about to cook the beignets is you're gonna need a paper towel on your plate, because we're gonna be using oil, and you don't need to eat all of that oil to help dry out the beignets. And then you can keep a roll next to you, so after we put the beignets on the plate, we can go on top of it and kind of dry out the beignets. It shouldn't be too oily. Anywho, so your hot plate or your stovetop should be hot, and you can feel that. So I'm gonna put my oil into the pan. So I make sure that my oil completely covers the pan, and you can make sure you see like all the oil covering it. I'm gonna let my oil get hot for a little bit, and then we can put the beignets on top. So what I use to put the beignet batter into the pan is a spoon, and typically it's just your regular tablespoon that you use to eat soup, soup or whatever. But since I do not have that, hello friends, for creative solutions, why not just use the 1/4 cup? Why not? It's there, I'm here, batter's there, pan's here. It's hot, yes. All right, so now with your beignets in your spoon of your choice, I guess my choice today is this 1/4 cup. And we're gonna put it in to the pan. And we're gonna try to keep it as bite-sized as possible. Again, the bigger your pan, the more beignets you can fit. So you're probably asking, Gaelle, how do you know when your beignets are done and ready to flip? So there's a lot of indicators. One indicator is that you can like a pancake, when you're making pancakes, you can see little holes at the top, and so that's how you know to flip it. And also, what I like to do is peek at the bottom every now and then to see if the beignets are ready to flip. So I have my plate on standby with my paper towel. Here he goes. It's happening, guys. You can see the little bubbles. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I said, young man. Do. Da, da, da. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
s.t.e.a.m.
Just so you know, friends, a little bit of geography. Haiti is located in the Caribbean, and it's very, very hot there. I remember when I went to Haiti last year, 2019, of January, when I went to my godmother's house, she made me this amazing Haitian soup. And I was first like, oh my goodness, it's so hot outside, and you know, we're eating soup, but hey, culture, and it was so yummy. Yes, fun fact. Ooh, let's check, let's see. Ooh, I hear it sizzling. All right. I just flipped one over. It's not over till it's finished. It's only the beginning. So as you can see, I'm putting my fork on top of the beignet, and it's just, I know it's not ready to come out of the pan when I see batter come through the little come through the fork. So yeah, so right now I'm leaving it in because I want some color. So now I'm kind of trying to take a little bit of the oil out. I'm pressing it against my spatula, but here it is, our first beignet. Yay! Okay, now let's flip you. Ooh wee! This one has good color. Let's move our friend over here. Bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let me show you this beignet I just got out. This is actually, I think, perfect. There's many ingredients out on the website, with different websites that has different ingredients. You can have different textures, or it could be more fluffy or not, depending on what ingredients you use. Mine's are looking kind of flat, as you can see. I've been cooking beignets so much since I've learned how to make them that my roommates know the smell of my beignets. They just know how it smells, and they're just all for it, which makes me so excited because, you know, they're excited to try something new and embrace my culture. And I hope you guys enjoy this with your family. This is just such a fun recipe to make, I think, and it's easy, and it's also very yummy, I must admit. I must treat. If you've ever had plantains before, like fried plantains, it kind of looks like fried plantains a little bit. You know what I find so interesting about culture, guys, is that we could have, you know, for example, rice. Rice is something that so many cultures use in their food, in making their food. But everybody makes it so differently, you know, different types of rice, or maybe even similar. We're all so different, but yet so similar. You should ask your friends, how do you cook, you know, with rice, or how do you cook with flour? What do you use to make? How do you make your beignets? I know other countries make beignets too. Like America. America has a different way of making beignets. Oh yeah, so as you can see, the pan is hot, nice and hot, so it's frying quicker. So again, if you're making this and you're a child, I would have your parent do this. You know, just a fun advisory. So the first language of Haiti is actually French, because Haiti, way back in the day, was colonized by France. So with colonization, there's an influence of language and culture as well. So yeah, so the first language of Haiti is French, and the second language would be Haitian Creole. And most people, if not everybody, speak Haitian Creole in Haiti. And what I find interesting too is like the countryside accents in Haiti, and just any other culture too. It just sounds so different as opposed to like other places. My dad, his name is Joseph, and he was raised in the countryside on a farm. And then my mom was raised more in the city, in Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince is actually the capital. Whew, this is so pretty. I'm just gonna show you every beignet I make. It's just so good. All right, we're gonna do this last few. And something pretty cool about this batter is you can save it for tomorrow. Just toss it in the fridge, and then you can have it and you can make it tomorrow. So something that is very important to know about Haitian beignets, they're best when they're fresh out of the pan. Of course, after it's cooled down, because you don't want to burn your tongue, then you won't be able to taste the yumminess. But yes, the best tasting beignet is fresh out of the pan. After it's cooled down, it's very yummy. Carnaval is actually very similar to the American like Mardi Gras, but in Creole we say Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, and y'all say Mardi Gras. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. All right, I'm done cooking my Haitian beignets, so I'm gonna safely turn off my hot plate. So please safely turn off your stovetop. So I'm gonna grab some paper towel. And then I'm gonna lightly press down on the beignets. To again, take off some of the oil. There shouldn't be too much oil actually on there. And there you have it, friends, Haitian beignets. So yummy. So you can leave it like this, or if you would like, this is also part of our recipe, you can take a tool that looks like this. You don't have to. I usually pour powdered sugar out of the bag, but this is actually very helpful to use. And then you're gonna put it in there. I'm gonna shake it around and lightly cover your beignets. And there you have your powdered beignets. You can do it this way too. Thank you so much for joining us in cooking Haitian beignets. For more cooking classes, please check out our website, www.ymcasf.org, for more classes. I hope to see you guys there.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter-in-place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.